we are going to be talking about a really fun way in which we can elaborate in our realistic fiction stories today. Now, as first graders, we read a lot of series books. We've read Zelda and Ivy, we have read Tabby Cat and Mr. Putter, we have read Frog and Toad, Flat Stanley, Fox and His Friends, so many series books. And I know that at home you're also reading a lot of series books like Dogman books. You've also been reading Junie B. Jones books, Cam Jansen books. So, series books, remember, are books that have reoccurring characters with different adventures. Now, today I want to teach you writers, and our teaching point is right here on our screen. Today I want to teach you that famous writers play with patterns to stretch out parts of their stories. And one way to do this is to work into three details or examples when you are describing something. So, this way, you can take one simple idea and spread it across three different sentences to add even more to your stories. And a lot of really famous writers do that. Now, for example, in Mr. Putter and Tabby Cat, we read this one. We did the one where they were baseball, but I found this one as well. It follows that pattern, and this writer is Cynthia Rylant. And you can notice that she uses the same pattern over and over again. So it said Mr. Putter and his fine cat Tabby loved quiet time. They loved quiet baths, they loved quiet naps, they loved quiet thinking. So she was able to take a simple idea that Mr. Putter and Tabby Cat like quiet things, and then she added examples on top of that. And so you can see how it stretches out her work. And it also allows her to use really fun picture details to show and not tell all the things they do. Like here, they're both thinking about sweet treats that they could have. You can see that Mr. Putter likes to nap under a blanket with Tabby Cat on top. And while Mr. Putter is taking a bath, Tabby Cat takes a bath outside of the bathtub. And so it really brings our story to life when we take one simple idea and stretch it across three or four examples to give more ideas to elaborate. We also can see that in Frog and Toad. And so we see he pulled all the covers over his head. Frog pushed Toad out of bed. He pushed him out of the house and onto the front porch. And so instead of just saying he got him out of bed, he provided three things that he did to try to get him out of the bed. And that elaborated on that idea and made our work longer. And so this is something I want to start to see in your writing first grade. So I went ahead and I'm going to show you an example of how I could do this in my book that I'm writing about Penny and Buttons, and how Buttons, if you remember from Monday, my problem was he saw a bird and got off his leash and started running towards that bird. And so I'm going to share with you how I can take one idea and stretch it across three things to create a pattern, okay? So it says Buttons liked three things outside the best. He loved watching birds. He loved eating plants. He really loved sleeping in the sun. So you can already see that I'm growing my ideas by giving you three examples of things that Buttons really, really likes. As Phineas and Buttons rested in the sun, a cardinal flew to a nearby tree. Buttons' ears perked up. You see, I added an action. He turned his head and locked eyes with the cardinal. Buttons wanted to eat the bird. He got really low, wiggled his tail, and leaped into the air. "Whoa!" shouted Penny. Buttons broke out of his leash and ran toward the cardinal. And so you can see, not only did I use a pattern of three things that Buttons really liked outside, I then tied it into the problem that there was a cardinal nearby, right? He loved watching birds. And then I was able to use actions, thoughts, feelings, and dialogue to bring this page to life, the problem that was going on. Now on our next page, page 4, this is when we get our characters out of trouble. It says, Penny was so scared to lose Buttons, so her feeling. She panicked. She didn't know what to do. That's when she remembered Buttons likes three things inside. So you can see I'm setting it up for another pattern. He likes his toys. He likes his fuzzy blanket. He really loves treats. And so again, I gave you three examples to tell more about our character. Penny got an idea. She grabbed a bag of treats and started to shake it. Buttons heard it and came running back to Penny. And so you can see that when I added those three details of what Buttons really likes, it really helped to tie in what she was going to do to try to solve the problem of getting Buttons back by shaking a bag of treats. So today, first grade, I'm going to challenge you to try to be like a series writer and use patterns in your book to tell more about your characters in order to elaborate. And so I'm really excited to see how you are going to do this. And so today you're going to be writing page 3 and 4. So page 3 is, remember, where your character gets into trouble, and page 4 is where you take small steps to get your character out of trouble. Okay, so I'm very excited to read your next pages of your book and try to use your three examples to elaborate to tell more about your characters. All right, first grade, have a great day.